floor. Why would somebody yell from the ground floor? So I just peeked. Thankfully, nobody else shares my name. So I peeked down. Expected. Two of my colleagues standing there. I was like, what do you want? You come down urgently. We need your vehicle. Just come down. I'm like, right now? They're like, yeah, come down. I was like, okay, maybe they're in some emergency. Probably they need the vehicle. And down, locked my door, came down. There were usual children playing and all of that. And two of my colleagues are sitting on their bike and grinning at me. I'm like, you said an emergency. You asked me to bring a vehicle key down. What exactly do you want me to do? They're like, we just want to take you out for dinner. Mad. I was irritated. I still took a minute. I was like, tell me what exactly you want me to do. We just want you to take your bike out. Come on, let's go. So I started my Hunter 350. And as I pulled out of that gate with that loud engine, a girl with a skipping rope, about 6 years old, turned around, and her eyes were as wide as saucers when she saw me on a motorbike. And every single time I take my bike out, it's that same feeling I look for. And today, I want to tell you why I love doing that. Anybody can imagine, and I can ask each woman here, at some point of your life, have you ever wanted to ride a bike? Yes? Yes? At some point, some geared vehicle, some motorbike that you've done it till now or not, you've always wanted to do it at some point of your life. Maybe you saw it in a song. Maybe you saw somebody else doing it. Maybe your brother or father or uncle, cousin, somebody just rode it and you're like, damn, I want to do that. And just like you guys, I was the same. I wanted to ride a bike. I learned cars. I learned non-gear vehicles. And a lot of things with wheels as far as my parents would allow me. But motorcycle was still that one topic that was like, don't really go there. And October of 2023, October 7th specifically, I told my colleague, yeah, I just wish I could ride a bike. He looked at me straight and he said, come on, we're going right now. And we were off. But his classic Bullet Classic 350 vehicle, which is a 212 kg. And I am not a tall person. I am barely 5'3". And that vehicle comes up to my hips. And I'm like, are you crazy? You're asking me to learn in one heavy vehicle. He's like, don't worry. It's okay. So I got onto that vehicle. And given that I knew how to use the gears in a car and balance of a normal two-wheeler or cycle, I just had to mix them together. Easy, right? In theory. Gears from a car, balance from a cycle, I just put them together. Except I forgot the fact that a cycle is barely 50 kgs and this motorbike is a good 200 kgs. But despite the daunting challenge, he said, you just have to do it. Let's do it. It's today. I got onto that vehicle, just put first gear and just went down the road. I couldn't turn it. It was so heavy. I could not do a U-turn. From the back seat, he bent over because he was a nice tall 6-foot guy, and he turned that vehicle again and said, you're doing the next U-turn. It's not that difficult. With that, after a couple of rounds, he's like, we're going to the main road. Like, what? Main road? I mean, I live in Electronic City. The main road is pretty crowded. And you expect me to take this 200 kg thing onto the main road? He's like, yeah, we're going to the main road. So we did this. We did this again and again and again and again. We got comfortable driving it. what kick-started this journey, literally, though none of the motorcycles today have kickstarts, it completely took over my soul till I decided I'm going to buy my own vehicle. And February 10th of 2024, my brand new Royal Enfield Hunter 350 was mine. So, with this wonderful journey, I realized that sometimes we wear armors, we wear gloves like this, we wear probably a helmet, we wear boots, and we wear a lot of things to protect us, to ensure that we don't get hurt. But the one big thing that any motorcycle wants teaches you is you will fall, you will protect yourself, but every time when you go out, especially me, when I sit on that motorbike, get out on that road, and I see one girl turn around and say, Akka, super! Keeps me going. When I see an older lady turn around in her car and say, that's a girl driving a motorbike, it keeps my soul fired up. Thank you.
Silence for judges to mark their ballots. Timer, please show the red card when marking is up. Contestant number 4, Rama Rao Road. Antim Pug, the final step. Antim Pug, the final step, Rama Rao Road.
Antim Pag, the final step. That is what is inscribed in white on a black marble slab at the entrance to the famous Chetwood Hall in Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. That slab has special significance to any person who enters the precincts of that academy for training. Contestants, fellow Toastmasters and judges. Make this idea more lucid, I will narrate a story. Long, long ago in a village, there lived a sculptor, highly skilled. It was said that he could carve out anything from any stone, from the softest marble to the hardest granite. He could make statues out of anything. Statues of flowers, fish, birds, animals, human beings, heroes, heroines, and even the deities. His fame had spread far and wide, and one day a rich businessman came to that village looking for this sculptor. After meeting him, he showed the sketch of a deity to be made for a particular temple. The sculptor looked at it and he said, yes, I will do it. The agreement was made, and the businessman left that village with 2 blocks of granite to be carved. The next day, the sculptor began his work. Hammering, chiseling, grinding, polishing, all these things were happening. And slowly the statue was coming. Initially, that stone felt very happy because it was being carved out into a statue which will be respected, worshipped someday. As the work was going on, the pain on that statue, that piece of stone, was increasing. And a time came when that statue could tolerate no more and decided to quit. The next day, when the sculptor came, when he touched it with the hammer, it developed cracks. The sculptor was dejected, very sad, very disappointed, and gave up doing this work for a few days. After a few days, he gathered courage, picked up his tools, and picked up the second stone and started work again. Second stone also. Initially, it felt very happy looking at its future. And as the time passed, the pain kept on increasing, and that day of decision making came when it had to say yes or no. That stone took a call. So, come what may, I will not quit. And after a few days, that day came when the sculptor gave the final touches and looked at the carved out statue, marveled at his own creation, wrapped it up in a nice silk cloth, and put it up on a high pedestal. Then he informed the businessman, your work is over. He came, looked at it, felt very happy, paid the fee, and took that statue away. Before that, he asked the sculptor to give that old stone also to him. So he picked up that old stone also and went to his town where a new temple had come up. This statue, second statue, was consecrated in a massive gathering with a lot of fanfare, and it was installed as a deity in that temple. Devotees kept pouring in. They started praying there and offered all kinds of good things, flowers, garlands, fruits, even some gold. And on special occasions, this deity would be taken out in a procession around the temple with a lot of fanfare. And often it got nice bath in different types of good things and new clothes put on it. What happened to the first statue? It was kept outside the sanctum sanctorum. Not many people looked at it. It remained there at one place. It bore the brunt of the changing weather, hot sun, cold, rain, everything. Nobody even cleaned it. The only thing people used it for was to break the coconut on it. And it kept on happening day in and day out. Lots of times again. Coming back to Dehradun, the life of a trainee is similar. The sculptors are the ustads, the trainers there, and they are the ones who chisel, who hammer, who polish, who grind the trainees, to make them into good statues. Ladies and gentlemen, if at all such times come in your lives, remember this story and visualize your